Alright, so there are three basics to weight training. That is hypertrophy, strength, and endurance. Now, we want to focus on hypertrophy because that is where you'll get the most growth from. Strength is typically 1 to 6 reps. People like 1 to 3. Hypertrophy, which is what we're focusing on, is anywhere from 6 to 12 or 8 to 15, really. So these are like the categories of reps, and then for endurance, it's basically just 15 plus, and as simple as. For endurance, I typically like to go for 30 reps, but that's really up to the person. So when it comes to growth, we want hypertrophy. Hypertrophy will offer us the most growth. However, say the weight we're lifting is 10 kg, we're doing bicep curls, and we want to lift 15 kg. Doing hypertrophy, you might get there eventually, but the best way to do that is we want to increase strength. And to increase strength, you need to do a lot of endurance. So instead of doing hypertrophy training with 10 kg, we'd be doing endurance training with probably 8 kg, because 10. The whole point of getting up to 15 reps is at your 15th rep, you're struggling, so you shouldn't be able to do more. If you are able to do more, then your weight is too little, which is something that you need to be able to pick up on already. So that's important when it comes to hypertrophy. So that's how you increase your strength, by doing a lot of more endurance, and that's how you can increase your bench press from whatever it is, 150 kg to 200 kg as a 1 rep max. That's how you do it. So lifting one weight of 150 kg every day, doing it one rep is not going to give you more strength. You need to be able to increase endurance for that. Now, we are talking about increasing the size of our muscles versus actually being stronger. Now, being stronger, we've already covered. To increase the size is purely just hypertrophy training, and it's kind of in the middle of the two. Something that you might be missing though is form. So we need good form. For example, when you're lifting, what is it called? Lifting biceps. Bicep curling. You could swing the weight. So you don't want to be swinging the weight. So you need perfect form. No swinging the weight. Squeeze. I don't think that's how you spell squeeze. Squeeze. I'm gonna give it that. Squeeze the muscle. Okay, I'm terrible at writing. Squeeze the muscle group. Squeeze the muscle when you're lifting the weight. And the last thing that is important for muscle growth is, so we've covered form, we've covered training. The last thing you need to do is nutrition. Nutrition. Alright, here we go. This is a huge, important one that people forget about. You need to increase your proteins, and here's something: don't decrease carbs. That is wrong. Do not. You want to increase your carbs as well. Increasing your carbs will increase energy in the gym. It will increase energy, and it will help with muscle growth. Now, we're talking about purely muscle growth. We're not talking about getting lean. We're not talking about getting shredded. I'm talking about muscle growth here. You want to increase your carbs, okay? Now, if you are eating a lot of carbs, maybe it's not too much of an issue. You want to be eating clean carbs, whole grain, all that brown stuff, brown bread. Let's do a separate one for nutrition. Let's do a list. Like brown bread, brown rice, bread, brown stuff basically, because we're the best. Now I'm joking. But yeah, you don't want to be eating like the white starchy stuff. You want to get rid of oily foods, like chips or crisps. Eating that's not the kind of carbs you want. You want to be eating brown rice. That's the kind of carbs you want. Fiber doesn't really matter. I mean, it's important and all, but when it comes to purely muscle growth, I don't think it matters that much. But yeah, brown rice, whole grains, carbs, and increase your proteins. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people mess up when it comes to their protein intake, and they just don't have enough. The minimum you should be having is 1.8 grams per pound of body fat, I think it is. But I would go for 1 gram per pound of body fat, or pound per pound of weight. So however much you weigh, or 1.2 if you really want a lot of muscle growth. I think that gives you an excess amount of protein, which doesn't harm you. It just means you have so much you don't need it, which is better than having a deficit of protein, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's the nutrition side of things. When it comes to fatty acids like that are healthy, avocado and stuff, that's important to have, but fats aren't as important to muscle growth as carbs are. Something that people typically get rid of, and then they don't realize that does have an effect to muscle growth. So yeah, that's what it comes down to with muscle growth. I'm trying to think, there was something else that I had in mind, but I forgot about it. We've covered form. Oh yeah, supplements, that was it. Now when it comes to supplements, you really don't need anything as a 15-year-old or teenager. You don't need supplements. You don't really need them. But if you really do, you have your heart set out on them, first thing, do not rely on supplements. Supplements don't do shit for you if you don't have the proper training. But if you do have supplements, the 3 supplements that I recommend for muscle growth is 1, whey protein. This is shouldn't even be considered a supplement, because this is essentially just a protein. It's just more protein. It's like eating chicken. That's all it is. It doesn't really do anything for you. It just helps you get that protein in a day. If you can't get that in, whey protein. The next thing is creatine. Now I personally don't take this, so I don't have a lot of experience with it, but there is so much research saying that it's good, and I've just seen everybody praising how great it is. The last thing that I recommend for muscle growth is some sort of pre-workout. Now this isn't going to affect your muscle in any particular way. It is just a way that you can get more energy, and especially if you're doing a cut or anything like that, this is just a way you can get in more energy, and especially teenagers, you're tired, you have school, tired. If you are doing this, you're probably dieting, so you're probably having less carbs, and if you haven't clean carbs, it is hard to get energy. You're probably having no sugars, so you're pretty tired. As long as you're not having any caffeine, pre-workouts are really good. I don't use a particular pre-workout. What I use is SIS, Science and Sport, energy gels. So that's it's not like a dedicated pre-workout, but it's got caffeine in, which is good. It doesn't give me, insane energy like a proper pre-workout, but it gives me what I need, which I recommend for anybody our age. I know a lot of people my age take it who do sport. When it comes to pre-workout, I think it's just the caffeine you really need, so you can make that homemade. I don't recommend going out and buying the most powerful or strong one. I recommend going pretty light on that stuff. Probably wait till you're 16 or above to get pre-workout. And another thing about pre-workout is this is a key, if you have caffeine in the day, coffee or any form of caffeine, even like Pepsi or something, don't have pre-workout. It's only if you have no caffeine at all in the whole week, and I don't take it on a daily basis, like once in a while. That's really it. When it comes down to it, the only supplement you need is whey. Nothing else really matters. They do have an effect, and I'll cover that in a different video, but muscle growth, you want that, and you're having struggle getting that protein in, whey protein, that's it. So that's pretty much it. The key when it comes to training is this, and I think this is most important out of all the stuff that I told you. This is the key for muscle growth. If you want those big biceps, this is the key. Nutrition is very important as well, but yeah, so that's it for the video, I guess. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this useful, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be making future videos like this for teenagers or anybody who's interested in fitness. So subscribe, don't forget to subscribe and like if this helped you. Comment what you want to see next. I have a lot of advice. I think I'll be able to cover most or pretty much everything you guys throw out at me. So comment down below what you want me to cover next, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.